Thank you very much for showing up, everyone. My name is Alan Baxter. I'm the director of the production and the director of Upbeat Performances. And of course, as in all theaters, this comes out this announcement. Please turn off your cell phones or put it on airplane mode, please. We ask that of you. Also, as in most theaters, we're 501c3, so if you have any money that you're about ready to throw away or something like that, we won't refuse, okay? We're hoping that this production, we can take it to many other churches and places throughout the United States because of its very strong social impact. And so if anyone is showing any interest in that, we'll be very glad to talk to you. And also tonight, the playwright is here, and he's in the back, and he'll be here after the show, Tom Romano. Good. Okay, so we have a great show. On with it, and thanks again for coming.
Handel entspringt nicht dem Denken, sondern der Bereitschaft zur Verantwortung.
Du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
Thank you, Jaime.
I have been so worried about you. Do they even feed you in here? You look so thin.
I suppose so, Eberhard. It's so good to see you.
What?
They haven't told me when they're going to do it. Could be tomorrow. They found a piece of paper tying to the assassination plot. Let's not talk about that. How's your family?
What, my family? Why won't somebody tell them to stop? I mean, will somebody just please tell them to stop?
No, not here. No, Eberhard.
I know.
I've missed you.
I don't want to lose you.
It's not the place. They're probably looking at us, watching us. We need to stay just friends. Just friends, and I'm engaged.
Yes, I suppose so. It's just I still want to touch you.
Don't make you wear the pink triangle before they put you before the hangman's noose.
The war is lost. Why can't they realize that?
I don't know, my friends.
Hasn't there been enough killing?
I was thinking how vast it all is.
We were so very close. God, we almost had him.
I know. I participated in Valkyrie, but it failed.
Why do you trash yourself? You know other assassination attempts, they failed too. What are you losing your faith just because Valkyrie failed?
Am I losing my faith? Am I losing my mind?
I don't think so. And anyway, damn them! I love you!
They'll hear us.
I don't care if they make me wear the pink triangle.
They'll do it just to laugh at you.
Well then, maybe I'll exchange one for a yellow star. What difference does it make to them if I'm a Jew or if they call me out
Nazis
as...
want to get rid of all those that feel they're not fit for their Reich. And I'm one of them.
Well, I'm another one. So, I see they still let you write. I'm surprised they don't criticize you and take this away.
Sometimes I don't know if I believe in God. I just don't believe in the church.
You mean the paper, the one that you've been
What is
writing this whole...
Christianity? What is Christ for you today? What's Christ for me today? Oh, look at the church. It hides its head in the sand. There's no time to hide away. The church needs to act with strength and courage, yet they hide.
Well, what else are you supposed to do when you're confronted by bullies? You turn the other cheek. Isn't that what they're all doing?
Oh, the church wants to make an example out of me too, just a different one than the Nazis.
The church, they're all a bunch of cowards. Tell me, Dietrich, what's going to happen to us after this war is over? And I want you to be honest with me, because I promise I'll believe you.
I don't know. Christianity without religion?
No, I mean, tell me, what is going to happen to us after the war is over?
Church is a mess. The ministers don't know what to believe in and they run from the Nazis.
Hitler did this.
No, the German church did this.
The church? They want to see you only as a sacrificial lamb. They only want to save their scrawny necks. I ask you again, where exactly are we headed?
For a new Germany, but I won't be there.
Well, then tell them. Why don't you just tell them that you were wrong and that they were right? I don't care how you phrase it. Why don't you go over to that table and tear up all of your papers?
Because I can't.
Damn you! You betray us all with your silence! At the very least, won't you try to save yourself?
I can't. And I'm not betraying anyone, old man.
Yes, you are. Oh, look! The great Dietrich Bonhoeffer goes to his slaughter, silent in his suffering. You're playing right into their hands. You see, we need people like you, Dietrich. Wouldn't the Nazis pardon you if you just...
Then I couldn't live with myself.
Looks like there's now young boys who are wearing adult uniforms and carrying rifles. Look at them. Look. Probably being sent out to the front. And you see, their leader looks like this old man. So I guess the Nazis have no more soldiers left to fight. So now they send children and old men to fight the Russians and the Americans.
Come away from the window.
No. No, I won't. Damn them! I mean, they say the hope of Germany's future now? When are they gonna stop? When there's nobody left to kill? When there's nobody left alive? So, this is Hitler's last stand. And who the hell knows where he even is?
He's probably gone into hiding.
Yes. Hiding just like the coward that he is while his lambs go to the slaughter. Maybe even God is helping him.
Can't believe that.
Shh. We were so close. We had so many resources and operatives trying to help us, and they all failed.
Shh, lower your voice.
You know, sometimes I'm the one who loses my faith. Operation Valkyrie? Yeah, what a joke. I know, that's probably why the man is still alive. I mean, the man has angels looking out for him while millions are being sent to die. Think about that, Bonhoeffer. Millions are sent to die by Mr. Hitler while our God just stands there.
I don't want to talk about it.
Shh. So, our attempt fails. Oh, he's a charmed man, isn't he? Once again, Herr Hitler gets the last laugh. You didn't hear, did you? Our attempt failed only because someone moved the suitcase.
Suitcase?
The bomb was made of plastic explosives, and it was put into full view of where Hitler was going to sit. But then somebody moved the bomb in the suitcase at the other end of the table leg. I mean, the table saved Hitler's life, but it killed 3 of his officers. The detonator and the bomb, they all went off, but Hitler escaped with just minor injuries.
So, the monster's still alive. The Antichrist still roams the earth.
And I heard he's taking a terrible revenge on everyone who plotted against him. I heard thousands will be killed, if they haven't been already.
No more talk of this.
No more talk of this?
No.
You need to know something. Do you know how many attempts now have been made on Hitler's life? 33! 33. And not one succeeded.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you hear the story about George Elser?
No.
Just a common carpenter. He wanted to assassinate Hitler and Goebbels and Goring all at the same time. It was back in November of 39. So he snuck into a hall where Hitler was going to speak. The detonator and the bomb, they worked. Did they go off? Yes. But unfortunately, Hitler left just before the bomb went off. So Elser did not bother with Goebbels and Goring because his greatest prize got away. Conclusion, failure.
I see.
Did you ever hear about that Swiss theology student, Beauveau? He passed himself off as a news reporter, and he went to purchase a gun. He waited in grandstand for Hitler's car to come driving by, but when it did, everyone rose to their feet in unison, and it prevented him from getting a clear shot. Another failure.
Seems to have led a charmed life.
A guardian angel watches over a tyrant. How is this supposed to happen? I thought only people who were good at heart had guardian angels.
Have a guardian angel. He's just been very lucky.
I'm afraid so. And of course, there was another attempt after ours. It failed too, of course.
Talked about America, too. What was that all about?
Yes, the enlightened Americans. What a bunch they are. It's unbelievable. You ever heard of one of their top magazines? It's called Time Magazine.
I think I saw a copy of it when I was in New York.
Yes, the uninformed Americans. They live their whole lives in these vacuum bottles with way too many riches and way too much around them. Well, the magazine said Man of the Year. Man of the Year! The Americans know nothing! Hitler became chancellor only through lies and deceit.
Oh, American Negroes are harassed by the white majority, but at least they're not being rounded up.
It's too easy to become part of the herd. But let me tell you something. It takes a lot more courage to stand up for yourself, especially when you stand alone.
They tried to get me to talk yesterday.
They tortured you? Not again.
No, they tied me to a chair. They didn't hit me. They just wanted to know other names.
Thank God then for that. Did you give them any names?
No, they were hesitant to hit a minister.
How do you know that?
They told me. You know, as I was saying, how vast it all is when you came in?
Yes.
I think it's bigger than we can ever imagine.
Well, perhaps, but sometimes I wonder if you have any faith left at all.
Sometimes my faith is stronger than ever. Other times I don't know.
Really?
It's my theologian training. Just a joke.
All of it?
Damn near. That theological cliche. Let's see now. There's heaven above, and then there's hell below. It's just a joke. And I criticize the state, too.
So is this why you were criticizing the church in your writings?
No, because the church are running like cowards. I said in my writing the church needs to take responsibility. Maybe not at first.
Then why the hesitation?
Well, because the state makes the laws, and the church, out of respect for that, hesitates. Then recognizing injustice must act.
You're saying that the church does nothing, even with all of the social injustice.
Well, the church needs to assess the situation first. The state's a reflection of just law and order. The church lives on the teachings of Jesus and the Gospels, and then must respond to what the state is doing. But what if the church does nothing in response to what the state is doing?
Yes, but what about your response, Dietrich? Do you actually think your writings are going to make a difference, or will it lead to more persecution of the church and its leaders?
Eberhard, I just feel it's the right thing to do.
Hello, Father.
Chef Frederick. How's your wife?
Oh, not too bad, Father. How are you today? The doctor looked at her foot again. It's healing.
That's good.
I think your prayer helped a lot.
I appreciate it. You know, Frederick and I were praying that his wife would get better.
I was beginning to think all the doctors had left Germany or were dead.
I brought a little medicine your way. Herr Frederick has been showing me pictures of his children. This is a picture of his oldest daughter. Doesn't she?
Do you
look
know what
like
I
her
wish?
Father?
Father, they could turn this damn thing, this goddamn thing, excuse my language, this uniform in.
I know.
Would you believe it, Father? Now they're shooting some of us. Yes, now it's Nazis killing Nazis.
Becoming civilians?
Yes. They killed my best friend yesterday.
I'm sorry. What happened?
They ordered him to roll up his sleeve.
A tattoo?
Yes, we all have them. That's how they keep track of us. He was deserting.
So what are you gonna do?
What's that?
What are you gonna do now?
I just want to disappear forever. I don't know, the 1,000-year Reich collapses, and you know what?
What?
I don't give a damn. I don't care. Please, please let me go home to my wife and children.
I don't blame you.
See this? This Iron Cross? I'm gonna pawn it. A symbol of my devotion to the fatherland. And what did that get for me, huh? Nothing.
I thought you were dedicated like any young soldier would.
I earned this for a bravery under fire. Now I'm just a dead man walking around with an empty head and meaningless uniform.
You know what's gonna happen to you? Sit over. When this war is over,
No, Father, what will happen to men like me to be put out to pasture and shrivel away until I'm nothing?
no. You're gonna go home, you're gonna see your wife again, and you're gonna see your children.
I joined the Hitler Youth at age 16. By 21, I was a soldier in the German army. I worked my way up. And now it's all gone. What was it all for? Shit, my commanding officer.
Frederick, what are you doing here? Thought you were down at the other end.
Right away, sir.
You know, Sergeant, it's very unwise to be caught speaking to a prisoner.
Yes, sir. I'm leaving. Right away. Right now, sir.
You have your orders,
Yes, sir.
and don't let me catch you in here again, Sergeant. Don't you know you could be questioned for this? Am I understood? Now get out.
Yes, sir. Heil Hitler!
Heil Hitler?
Hello, Major.
Well now, Bonhoeffer, were you speaking to your friend again?
Yes.
He's a man of the cloth like you, isn't he?
He's my friend.
Look at me when I talk to you, Bonhoeffer. Hey you, Bethke. Heil Hitler.
What, silent are you? Bonhoeffer has some very quiet friends. Here, I'll say it again for you.
Heil Hitler!
Eberhard, say something.
Eberhard. Oh, so the man does have a first name. Well, my quiet fellow, you need to leave. I have no need for priests. Or is it ministers?
Eberhard, you better go.
I'll go when he tells me.
This is just in case you didn't hear me the first time.
Heil Hitler!
And you'd better be gone in 5 minutes.
Heard you the first time, Major. Did you see his eyes? The man had no pupils. It was like staring into the eyes of a snake.
Shut up! They can still be listening.
I know,
They'll do anything to arrest you.
Maybe I should wait here a few minutes more.
You don't want to be here.
I don't want to leave you.
Risking your life.
I think I should wait here just a few minutes more.
They're desperate. They'll shoot anyone.
So let them.
You don't want to be facing a firing squad.
I don't want to leave you.
You're courageous, my friend, but it'd be very difficult staring down the barrels of rifles. What's that?
It looks like they're raiding a country store across the street. It's all a bombed out shell. A guard looks to have seen them.
There's no fresh food, clean water anymore, at least not here.
There's none anywhere. Germany is a wasteland. Now our people are forced to rummage around like rats in the ruins.
Not a day goes by I don't hear the sounds of guns firing. They're bringing the war right here to this town.
The Nazis have made this whole country suffer.
And I see soldiers rummaging in the buildings looking for scraps to eat. They have priority over everyone, including civilians. At least that's what Sergeant Friedrich tells me.
Are you still talking to Bethke? What are you still doing here? Thought I told you to leave. Someone needs to teach you a lesson. Well, I sent your friend packing. That'll probably be the last we hear of him.
Nazism doesn't go with Christian ideals.
Teacher, what will happen to us if the confessing church criticizes the Nazis? We'll all go to jail.
We have to keep the church free of all Nazi influences.
That paper you published last year, isn't it enough it criticizes the Nazis?
Teacher, you're gonna get us all in trouble.
Yes, we're Christians. Isn't it our duty to speak up?
And get us all killed. Is that what you want us to
Didn't
do?
Martin Luther risk his life to criticize the Catholic Church?
Yes, but
He
what do you
knew
mean?
the right thing to do was, and he knew he couldn't remain silent.
But look at what they do to people that speak up. They disappear and they're never heard of again.
National Socialism is an illegitimate form of government. No. To say something is not enough.
Do you think your writing is going to stop them? Hitler's chancellor now.
Confessing Church was created to criticize what the Nazis are doing. That's exactly what it should be doing. My paper was written to oppose all forms of injustice.
But it goes too far.
If we all get arrested, what would become of the church?
What goes too far? My paper, the Confessing Church. I don't understand any of you. And you say you want to take the soft approach. And you think that's going to stop the Nazis.
Teacher, we just don't want to see the church unravel.
You say the only way to save the Jews is to convert them. They don't want to be converted.
I'm just only trying to find a way to save them. Can you think of a better way? But look at you. Look at yourselves. Church has become a place for a lot of silent people.
We're only trying to save the
I
church.
realize it. I know you mean well.
These are hard times. I don't know sometimes what we're gonna do.
The Gestapo have been trying to close the Confessing Church for a long time. They may succeed.
Church leaders say nothing. All of you say nothing.
What can we do? They beat Jews up in the streets. What happens if they start beating us up?
Church
Can we
leaders,
make a difference?
church leaders are welcoming the rise of National Socialism in this country.
Maybe that is the solution. To protect the church, shouldn't we welcome them?
How can you welcome those out who do murder? How can we remain silent when the persecution of helpless people goes on? And they're burning synagogues.
We have to be careful what we say.
What drives you? God or nationalism? Is this supposed to be the future of Germany, to pander to the Nazis by creating this Reich Church?
Dietrich, how bad can the right church be? It promotes a way that Protestantism can come together with the Nazis.
Look, Dietrich, I'm frightened. We're all frightened.
You have the right to be frightened. It doesn't excuse you for putting your heads in the
We're
sand.
not hiding our heads. The church is out there leading.
Then show me your leading and not following. Show me your fear isn't turning you into cowards.
It's easy to sound brave until you're facing imprisonment.
not afraid of arrest.
Hello, my friend. Well, at least you were able to avoid military service that can prove useful to the resistance.
So thankful for the assignment you got me with Abwehr, the German military intelligence, Hans. We can use it as a cover for our resistance work, right?
Dietrich, we have to be increasingly careful what we say and do. The noose tightens more each day.
Come on, let's not be so skittish about it.
But resistance leaders are being arrested and shot. If you're caught, there would be no trial, only an execution.
What we're doing is worth the risk. He's a madman.
And yet there's always been an intelligence to his madness. And the people respond like sheep.
Like the church. Church says nothing, and they dare criticize those who speak out. Fear has turned people into such cowering shadows.
I want to update you on Operation 7. I took a huge risk using your ecumenical contacts to arrange visas and sponsors. But that resulted in allowing several Jews to escape through Switzerland. Since they've closed Germany's borders, that's probably the only way to get them out now.
Thank God. But a few Lutheran and Catholic ministers helped me with it. I pray it works. The Jews have so little hope.
So, how's your work with students going?
Students. I'm so proud of them. They're in parishes all over Germany, and they're so savvy about the resistance.
Excellent. I'm so glad the Nazis banning you from public speaking didn't silence your voice. I only hope that this year of 1941 brings with it better news than we've seen.
There's so much to do.
What do you think of Canaris?
How about that? The head of the military resistance is a vice admiral.
I've got some more great news for you.
Yeah?
Since the resistance is organized,
Yeah?
there's been talk of overthrowing Hitler and his gang.
Goodness, that's fantastic news.
Keep this under your cap, not a word to anyone.
Of course.
I know I could trust you. Some of Hitler's top generals are involved in a plot to overthrow him, so it's not just the resistance.
I know, but have you heard that they're stepping up transports of Jews to the east?
Nazis are so merciless, and they do things in such an organized way.
Sometimes I doubt that what we can do can make any difference at all.
We all do, Dietrich. But doubt makes you hesitate. And this is no time for hesitation. You do not fear arrest.
Not anymore.
The people have been so duped by the Nazis. They find it hard to believe that a political movement could murder people in large numbers. That's the undoing of the Jews. They're too trusting. Dietrich, as a justice ministry lawyer, I've been working too long in this system. I once believed that justice would come automatically to those who deserved it. I don't believe that anymore.
What about the Nazi kangaroo courts? Whenever there's a capital crime, the Nazis don't allow attorneys to defendants, and they're condemned to die in a few days, no evidence, and people look away.
I saw a legal system where lawyers, instead of working for justice, were more concerned with winning cases. Litigation meant nothing more than hiring the best attorney that can win your case, and having the money to pay for one. And that was before the Nazis took power. But, as a man of the cloth, you were able to avoid this dirty mess.
We have our own dirty mess to clean up. The way we're going, the liturgical thugs are going to canonize their dear Nazi brethren.
In the twisted system we have now, there is no justice. Good people with a conscience disappear. Good people with a conscience are encouraged to denounce their fellow citizens for the price to buy more food to keep themselves alive one more day.
I know, and the Germans are promising to pay Dutch citizens money to turn in their Jews.
At least being a lawyer for the Justice Ministry has given me an insider's view of how our legal system has changed from justice for the few to no justice.
I made a promise to myself. I promised, As a theologian, I'm going to do all I can to bring justice.
This is where justice takes tremendous courage. To speak out is our duty, but the Nazis don't want to hear the truth. So, are our activities in Switzerland and Italy looking good?
Contacts with the church should help.
Just think, Dietrich. If we can get rid of Hitler,
Yeah.
a Europe free of fear, of want, where we can all live in peace again, where our children can play again.
Amen.
My brothers and sisters, the reality of 1937 is a grim one. Thousands are out of work and begging on the streets of this democratic country. I intend to do something about it right now. This church will pledge a relief fund to help those in need of a few dollars with help with purchasing food. A hungry God means a hungry people. And I will do something to make certain that we all have enough to eat. I will start by contributing 4 months of my salary to that effort. Who will match my offer? Can any of you? My brothers and sisters, it is cold out there, and people are starving. Giving starts with those of us who can. Come in, my brother.
Put so much effort in making sure your flock is well taken care of.
Brother, people need me out there. They just need something to get them through another day. We are like the starving invisibles. But someday, Dietrich, we'll be like other Americans.
Well, in Germany, the Nazis beat people up in the streets. Church says nothing.
The Ku Klux Klan does that to our people in the South. They may as well be doing it to us here.
I've read this. They've kept American Negroes from voting, and they're being beaten in the southern states.
The Ku Klux Klan is lynching us by the score. And the federal government does nothing. Governments in the South applaud the hanging of innocent Negroes. I'm a minister, but not allowed in white churches in the South. How can churches that call themselves Christian not allow a Negro to worship with white parishioners? The Klan are the American Nazis.
I thought Roosevelt addressed this issue.
Roosevelt. He didn't even invite Jesse Owens to the White House with the other gold medalists. Do you know how many medals Owens won? 4. 4 gold medals. He's a national hero. Roosevelt invited the white athletes, but not the Negro athletes.
Well, in Germany, the Nazis think the Jews are trash. I've heard rumors they're rounding up the physically, mentally handicapped, homosexuals, and gypsies. Talk is they're being resettled in jobs elsewhere. But it's the Nazis rounding them up with the approval of the church. I just wish we could be as much of an activist as you are.
The Abyssinian Church has helped people here a lot. Roosevelt's New Deal program is supposed to be helping. But I see very little coming down to us.
What about the public works program?
Yes, but we need more to put food on the tables of families now. Is Roosevelt doing that? Look, Dietrich, the police aren't really the ones I blame for our plight. The whole country doesn't care about Negroes. The cops can spout all the hate that they want. They're just a reflection of what this government has been doing to us for a long time.
Well, when I go back to Germany, I'm going to tell everyone about the wonderful work you're doing here. It's amazing. How about that idea of you forming the branch of the Abyssinian Church in Germany? Wouldn't Hitler love that?
Yeah, I appreciate that, my brother. Well, I must go. My flock needs me.
Good luck, Reverend.
Sometimes I fear my congregants look to me for miracles. Miracles are so hard to come by. I want to be a miracle worker for my people, but I can't.
In Germany, every time, the economy's in chaos. And then when the Nazis promise a speedy recovery, that's what I fear. They're telling the poor unemployed Germans exactly what they want to hear. I fear that before Germany's through, this world's going to know a lot more about this Hitler.
Take care, my brother.
And you, Reverend.
Wait. There's a spiritual starting. Would you like to sing with us?
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home, a band of angels coming after me, coming forth to carry me home. Adam, got a confession to make.
Maybe you're in the wrong church?
Not in the wrong church. But I've been wavering. My fiancée wants me to stay in the United States. I told her I couldn't.
Hopefully she wasn't too angry.
She was angry. She was livid. And I told her I had to return to Germany.
Dietrich, if you go back there, they'll arrest you.
I know, but I've got to go back where I'm most needed.
Let me tell you a story, my friend. Two of my parishioners, a man and a woman, were arrested by two cops on the charges of vagrancy. Naturally, I went down to the police station to argue with the cops.
They were released.
I'm relieved. It ended well. It looked like they were going to arrest me as well.
They didn't, right?
They didn't because I was a black minister.
Not the color of your skin.
Are you joking? That wouldn't stop them from beating me up. I look like just another nigger to them. To them, we all look alike. To them, we're all just a bunch of pimps and thieves. So you see, you don't need to be in Germany to see injustice. I had a confrontation with one of the cops last week. He called me a meddling nigger bastard.
Called you that? In Germany, the Nazis called the Jews kikes. I've heard them called other names too.
Names can hurt so much more than blows.
Garbage, vermin, trash, degenerate subhumans. I saw a Nazi movie about a year ago and it compared Jews to rats. It's called something like, I don't know, the eternal Jew.
We may as well be vermin to the cops. They arrest us for no reason, then spit on us. We get beaten up in jail or worse.
Harlan, a police officer, came to me the other day and asked me if I were a Nazi. I said no. He stuck his face in mine and said, "You're either a Negro lover or a Nazi. Neither way, we don't want you here."
So now they use you for a punching bag.
I've seen that look of pitiless hate before.
The eternal Jew, the eternal Negro, he will still be here a long time later with his pride, long after the hate.
Yeah, the Nazis want the Germans to believe all the lies, and they blame the Jews for everything gone wrong. The Jews in their eyes are Germany's downfall.
As long as there are innocent people to blame, hate doesn't go away, Dietrich. People start to hate, but conscientious people can make it go away. If you're colored, that's the way you get treated.
Did you know that in Germany there are loudspeakers all over the place?
I wonder if they'll start doing that here.
Hard to believe that the Nazis are too busy bombarding the Germans with how great their Reich is. That's Hitler's 1,000-year regime.
That's a laugh. 1,000 years?
That's Goebbels. That's the courtesy of Goebbels. The minister of propaganda. Minister of lies, but that's what I fear. People hearing these false messages enough will come to believe them. But that's what Goebbels wants.
That's scary. Very scary.
He's no fool, and he knows what he's doing.
How clever. A new way to brainwash and subjugate people.
You know, nobody knew what the loudspeakers were there for at first. We knew.
The upshot is it does no good to argue with the cops. They have it in for you one way or the other. I just don't get intimidated with their threats and bullying.
You'd think they'd have more important things to worry about, like going after real criminals.
They treat us like criminals. It doesn't matter if there's a depression on.
You think they'd want to just help each other?
You talked about the Nazis coming in the night to arrest you. Maybe they'll start doing that here next. Who knows?
It's hard to believe this could happen here.
You've got to have someone innocent to blame. That's all.
But it's never the armed people, but the defenseless.
Someone to take their frustrations out on. Colored folks are handy to blame for the Depression, and they don't carry guns.
The Germans are desperate, and whenever Hitler promises to make Germany great again, they believe every word.
That's it. In times of plenty, there's less desperation.
It's just so disturbing when people are so desperate. Anyway, I've got to go now.
Tonight? I understand.
I've got to give hope to the resistance. The German Lutheran Church had become a lot of yes men for the Nazis.
Take care, my brother. I'll miss you.
It's with incredible joy I can finally meet you, Bishop Bell. Especially someone so close to Churchill and high up in the Anglican Church. You know, you can be a great service for our resistance. For security reasons, I think it's good if we speak in English.
You don't need to be so formal with me, Dietrich. You know, I've always had the highest respect for you. But you still must be careful. Even though you're in neutral Sweden, you should still use codes when you write.
I'm so cautious.
And that is precisely another reason Eden is reluctant to trust in you. Your being a member of Abwehr isn't very endearing.
It's just a front, just a cover. Allows me to circulate in social circles like these, abroad, meet you, and the German military intelligence will ignore it because I'm a member of Abwehr. Just trying to convince my colleagues. Haven't given up, gone over to the other side. It's just my way of fighting fire with fire, and I just hope the church will see it that way also.
But Dietrich, as I told your friend, do not get much hope that Churchill will listen to your pleas. He's also trying to keep close alliances with Stalin and Roosevelt. If this meeting became somewhat public, that could tarnish the relationship.
All the more reason to listen. Listen to us. Look, Sweden's in neutral territory, right? We've placed ourselves in great danger by meeting you here.
Because I am so close to Churchill, I know him very well. He will not listen to any segment of the German population unless they mount on their own a total insurrection against Hitler and show to the world they refuse to live under such brutal tyranny.
Ridiculous that Eden and Churchill think that we, the resistance, can pull off this insurrection, you call it, without help from your side.
It's not as ridiculous as that absurd folk theology that Hitler parades throughout Germany. No wonder he has won over the church.
Hard to believe that many Germans feel he's the spiritual Messiah. And somehow, somewhere, he feels he's qualified because he miraculously walks on people.
Yes, he thinks he's a German pope, an emissary sent directly from God.
He thinks it's divine providence that's rescued him from all these assassination attempts.
Again, that makes our uphill battle very hard indeed. But I have such high regard for you, Dietrich, that I would continue to press hard with both Eden and Churchill. Get them to work more closely with you and your resistance so we can put a hasty close to this nightmare of a war.
Thank you, George. Your help is greatly appreciated, but I've got to go back to Berlin. We can continue our communication in coded language if you can contact Churchill and tell him how to connect with us.
Churchill is so upset with the present German culture that he thinks almost every German has an evil nature. He needs to change some of his thinking also. I want to tell him more about you and your family and the resistance.
Does he know nothing about the resistance? Doesn't he realize that most people in Germany don't agree with Hitler? Anyway, thanks for seeing me. When I go home, we have to meet secretly. We have to stay steps ahead of the Gestapo. It means outthinking them.
Dietrich, my prayers are certainly with you, and I know God will give you strength to continue your work. Peace be with you.
Thank you, my dear friend.
So you could abandon your pacifist views just this one time.
I'm not abandoning my views, Eberhard. I just see all the terrible things the Nazis have done.
So you're saying you could kill Hitler, you could join us?
Liebe Feinde, entbettet für dich, die euch verfolgen. Damit ihr Kinderen eures Vaters in Himmel wert. It's like the book of Matthew. I've always believed in loving my enemies. Does that belief mean that they kill Hitler?
So what do you want to do? Turn the other cheek and pray while Hitler murders more people?
No, I don't. So he cannot do murder, but I can. Du sollst nicht murder. It's in the Bible, it's in the Torah, and it's in the Koran. Killing someone goes against everything I stand for.
Dietrich, come to your senses. The killings will continue.
Seid aber untereinander. Herzlich, freundlich, wer gebet in dem Anders gleich mit Gott. Auch es vergeben hat dem Christo. So I'm to judge, not to forgive. And now I am playing God. Only God can judge.
Dietrich, we don't need to hear a lot of preaching.
I've always believed in the power of prayer.
Well, you can go on praying while the killings go on. We need to act.
And since when has the power of prayer ever helped?
Einen du zu lieben, dem seine Mitmenschen liebt, habt es gesetzt, schön erfüllt. So now I'm to violate one of God's laws if I don't love him, and if I kill him. I used to pray that things would just stop.
So I suppose you think God will stop this. Where is God in the suffering of the people? Did God help the Armenians escape murder at the hands of the Turks?
Hitler is Satan incarnate, and we have to stamp him out.
So what do you want me to do?
Even though you're in prison, use your underground channels to send letters immediately using our coded language to all of your resistance contacts and inform them about the Valkyrie plot and request them to contact me if they can help, okay?
Yeah.
Goring is supposed to be there, the head of the German Luftwaffe himself.
We've done enough research to know how important this meeting will be. Enough to know that it will be held in the highest secrecy in Hitler's own military mountaintop retreat.
I only hope that no innocent people will be involved.
Dietrich, we must act now. There could be no going back.
Am I doing the right thing?
I don't know.
Only God knows.
You know. You know this is the right thing to do. But I think you failed to realize something. You need to change your words to, are some acts of violence justified? Because I believe that they are. It's a hard decision, Deacon, but I know that as a man of justice that you will do the right thing.
I don't know what justice is anymore.
Look, I know that you're questioning everything, your entire ethics and your theologian training. I mean, there is no easy solution.
No, there isn't.
We have to get rid of Hitler and all of his crazy yes men.
And now it's time to do it.
What's this?
It's a map of the planning room where the bomb will be placed in Hitler's own inner sanctum. We believe it's called the Wolf's Lair, high up in the Bavarian Alps.
The bomb will be made of plastic explosives. It's going to be put into a suitcase. Nobody will suspect.
It will be codenamed Operation Valkyrie. There are several members of Hitler's innermost circle who are in on it.
You believe this will succeed?
There can be little room for doubt.
Plots against him have failed before.
This is going to be taken out by a very trusted officer.
This time, there can be little room for doubt.
And the nice thing about it is others will go with him.
They'll die with him?
They will die with their tyrant.
So who delivers the bomb?
His identity is to be kept a secret for understandable reasons. None of us know his name.
In case
someone is captured or tortured.
Torture has a funny way of making people talk. The Nazis are good at it.
Yes.
Believe me, I know you've done the right thing.
I used to think this was a fair and just world, and now I see no end to the Nazi evil.
You will not regret this decision, Father.
Do you understand why now is the time to act? The time is now, not some time in the future.
I'm trying to believe this is the right thing to do. Ich habe Blut in meine Hände. I'm wanting to kill. Finding an excuse to kill. Am I evil? Am I rotten? Is this the forgiving with Christian? With empathy for the suffering and the sick? I am the impure one and the hypocrite. I profess forgiveness, yet I contemplate the death of the Führer. Am I a fiend? I have empathy. I have empathy so much. I am becoming one of them, an unforgiving, heartless Nazi. And yet, no remorse. Kill for kill, I'm venting some inner pleasure like revenge. Coming one of them, I deserve to be executed. Spare the innocent. Ich weiß es nicht. Der Leute zählen auf mich. People count on me. Who am I? God, forgive me. Forgive me. What have I become?
Bonhoeffer, there's someone here to see you. She says she's your fiancée.
Maria Biedermeier?
She better not be a spy. You're not going to slip her any secrets now, are you?
I wouldn't do that to her, and I have no secrets to give her. Do you mind my friend Betka being here?
I do remember you once told me you had a fiancée. Maria, huh? Well, now I know her name. I know she won't say much. But as for you... That'll teach you to defy my orders. And if I catch you in here again, you will be arrested. Now get out.
I have things that I need to discuss with Dietrich, but they can wait.
Get together again, my friend. This is definitely not the time.
I will leave you then, Dietrich. Goodbye.
I'll be watching you, Bonhoeffer. If anything happens, if I see anything suspicious, she could be facing a firing squad by morning. Well, I assume you want to be left alone with your fiancé. As for your other friend, Bethka, I think I hit him in all the right places.
Can't believe you're really here.
They
What happened?
they
What's
made
wrong?
me strip. Well, they
What else
searched
did they do?
searched through everything. My purse, my clothes, my pockets. Well, at least the guard who searched me was a woman. That's all they did. They were probably just looking for weapons.
You didn't need to do that.
It's all right.
Well, who else was around? No men?
None that I could see.
That's my theological writings. They're shaping up, and that's my
Yes, I see.
summation over there.
You know, my nephew, he talks about you all the time. He misses you. Not a day goes by I don't think about you. I've missed you so much.
Missed you more than I can say.
I wish I could think of 1,000 ways they'd let you go. Why did they do this to you?
I don't know, Maria, but I'm very worried.
Worried?
Worried about you being here. It's
Well, I'd
not
rather
safe.
be in here with you than out there. I can't bear it, the waiting, the worry. Why won't they let you go?
They won't.
So they drag you down with them. They destroy Europe and now everything and everyone else.
They don't know what they're doing.
I heard some terrible news yesterday.
What news?
It was from a captain of the local SS unit. He said Albert Speer, Hitler's henchman, was ordered to blow up Germany.
What? Now they're spoiling their little nest. It's
he
crazy.
heard it from someone who was with Hitler. Apparently, Hitler has gone underground and Speer disobeyed him and didn't do it.
Thank God. Underground? I wonder where.
He has a bunker somewhere in Berlin. Apparently, he was saving it just for this time.
Now he wants to destroy everything and leave nothing for the future while he waits underground. Nothing for the children. There's still wasteland to inherit.
He's a coward. They all are when their backs are to the wall. And what do? They disappear. They go into hiding and they live comfortably. Well, I hope the Allies find him soon. I hope they string him up. I think be quiet. Damn him to hell and don't tell me to be quiet.
Yes, they could hear us here.
I don't care if they do. At least if they arrest me, I could be with you.
No, you wouldn't, Maria.
I wish I could die with you.
It's lieber dich. But you know, you've got to go on, regardless. Remember what we talked about? And they won't let us go together. They'll keep us apart.
Just to torture us. I wish that plan had worked. Why didn't God let him be killed?
Don't
now
bring
he
this
hides
up.
in his bunker while Germany falls around him, the great fear.
Maria, I don't hate him anymore.
How can you say that? After what he's done?
Try to forgive him.
Did you forgive him because you're a minister and that's your job?
We'll be equals in the eyes of God, Maria.
Sometimes I wish you stayed in America. You'd be safe there.
For whose sake? Mine?
No! No, for our sake! Were you even thinking of us or just you?
It's not fair you judge me like this. I came back because I thought it was God's will.
God's will. God's will. We could have been safe in America. We could have been married by now.
Don't blame me for being angry.
I don't want to lose you. And now I will. I will be left all alone along with everyone else to pick up the pieces.
I know.
You know. But how does knowing get you out of this?
I thought that you'd
I
understand
don't want
that-
to be saying this is the last time I look upon your face.
It's not the last time. We could still write to each other.
You are the man that I love. How will letters be satisfying? Don't you realize what you've done? You threw me away. You put your work ahead of us.
It's nothing more I would like than to be married with you
And
by
then
now.
what? I lose my husband. He offers himself to the Nazis like a sacrificial lamb.
You haven't lost
But
me.
I will, Dietrich. They will kill you. And for what? Did you do this to me deliberately, Dietrich? Do you want me to feel sorry for you?
Why do you say such a thing and you know it is not true?
Isn't it? You'll just keep working at your desk on all of these papers until they come for you. Isn't that right?
Papers, these documents, they're just my theology teachings.
And they let you
it's
write.
like-
Dietrich, while you're sleeping, they're spying on you. More ammunition for the hangman's noose. And what if they tear up all your papers? What good will it all do?
All I got, it allows me to reach out to the people to warn them about where I think that the church is going.
I had a dream last night.
What was it?
I dreamed we were living in that little house. You know, the American cliche they always talk about, the one with the white picket fence. Somewhere in a small town in the United States.
I remember, but you're going to strangle me with that white picket fence.
And I was pregnant, carrying your child. We were so happy. And do you know what? I don't know how the doctor knew this, but he told us it would be a boy.
Yeah?
And then we got into this quarrel about what name to give him. I wanted an American name, I think like Christopher or William, but you wanted a German name, and you insisted on the name Heinrich.
Heinrich, isn't that the name of your former boyfriend?
Don't be ridiculous. God, I remember we were practically shouting at each other, almost like insults. I'd yell, Christopher! You'd respond, Heinrich, Heinrich!
So how did this all end? Did we make up? Did I bring you flowers? Did we go to dinner?
We made love. And it felt like the first time. You better stop that, mister. That will lead to other things. What was that?
I don't know.
I asked you in the name of God, what was that?
It was nothing. I couldn't see it anyway.
What?
Maria, I didn't want you to see
Why
that.
did you lie that it was a firing squad?
I don't
To
know.
spare me somehow? Don't you know how much death I've seen in this damn war? God, you men, you're all like thinking you're protecting us, dainty little women.
Wanted to spare you, Maria. I'm sorry.
Well, Mr. Minister, no need to protect your little nun, I assure you, she can take it. Great Mr. Bonhoeffer. And do you think I'm going to watch you go to your execution and not say a word?
Stop it!
Not say a word, just sniffle quietly while the lamb is led to the slaughter.
Stop this!
Watch them put the blindfold over your face and then wait for them to kick the bench. Dietrich, when did everything go so wrong?
I don't know.
I mean with the world, when did selfishness and greed conquer everything and leave nothing?
World's imperfect, and the void is taking over us. Could be maybe tempered by a return to God. There's still hope. Hope that we can fight to protect what's left.
What will be left of Germany, of Europe?
The war's almost over. The Russians and Americans are winning. It's just a matter of time. Germany will rise again.
What will be left of the Germany we knew?
I don't know.
And you won't be here to witness it.
Remember I told you I was working with Reverend Powell in New York?
I remember.
He told me I could stay in New York, stay in his parish.
Then why didn't you?
Because all the problems in his parish and the way they were treating American Negroes.
I don't doubt that America has her own problems, but do they round them up there?
Reverend Powell says no. But many have been terrorized in the southern states and hung for no reason.
Yes, and soon they'll be tightening your noose. Dietrich, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
You meant it.
No, please forgive me. I say things I shouldn't.
The right to be angry.
No, I go too far. I say hurtful things.
Days. I wish I weren't here. Days I question my decisions, my God, everything. Sometimes I wish we could be in America again, free in a land where they would just leave us alone.
I know, from your letters. Sometimes you hide it, what you're feeling.
There were days my letters got me out of it, especially the ones I wrote to you.
I know. So many times just writing to you would make my day better. And I know how important your work is to you and how it got you through bad times. It's just that
I know.
What was that?
I don't know.
Sounds like someone was listening to us.
To be so careful in here.
Well, it's not like we're talking of top secret things.
Probably checking in on us and listening very closely to see if they can find some reason to arrest you.
Do you think there's listening devices in the cell?
I don't know.
How did you get that cut?
Shaving yesterday.
They let you have a razor?
Sergeant Fragrant loaned me his. The major was out.
Did you give it back?
Yeah, I gave it back.
One small door and one small window.
Not much, is it?
I'm amazed you can even breathe in here.
Well, Bonhoeffer, did I miss your little friend? She's gone, eh?
She's in the back.
Oh. And I'll bet she doesn't want to leave.
Just a few more moments, Major. Just 2 more minutes.
Bonhoeffer, it's time for your little friend to go. It's time for lights out. Too bad you'll be without her tonight.
I'll go. Goodbye, Dietrich.
Goodbye.
I love you.
Go with God. Go with God, Marie. I love you too. What would happen if I were to confess that what I did was all wrong?
I thought you wanted to be a martyr.
Why didn't you say something, Dietrich? You could have done something or said something to defend yourself. You could have even lied to them and told them anything, and you would have been spared. Now you have let the whole Church of Germany down. They have so little to go on now. There is no leadership.
I just wish this damned war was over. I just want to go home to my wife and family. I don't blame you for what you tried to do, Bonhoeffer. I understand why you tried to get him. Sometimes I wish I had killed Hitler. I had chances to, but I couldn't. I just want to go home to my wife and children. Maybe soon I'll get a chance to get rid of this uniform.
Operation Valkyrie failed. How many assassination attempts did Hitler escape? Some before he became leader. 32, 33?
He leads a charmed life. Why couldn't one attempt have succeeded? All it took would have been one. Just one. God deserted us, Bonhoeffer, and now they have you. I hope they don't torture you and that you tell them everything.
Could you imagine how many people will die if you talk? I've heard that Nazis hide cyanide capsules in their coats. Just in case it gets a little hot and heavy, they check out just in time. How great for them. Not so great for justice. Maybe that's what some of us should have done. Sewn pills in our clothes.
They're going to hang you for what you did, Bonhoeffer. And you deserve it. I hope before they kill you, they torture you, so that you reveal the others. Heil Hitler!
Don't get tired and depressed, my dearest Dietrich. It won't be long now. The war is over. I've searched so long and hard for you, Dietrich. No one seems to know what happened to you. No one at Flausenburg prison knows where you are. I think they know where you are, but they won't admit it. Cowards. Last night, I dreamed of that little house, still waiting for us. There was even a gentleman who showed us the inside, and it was so beautiful. The kitchen was spacious, and the living room had a fireplace where we could hold hands on cold nights. And there were 2 bedrooms, one a master bedroom with lots of space and sunlight streaming through big windows. And then I woke with tears streaming down my face. My darling, what have they done to you? Where have they taken you? Why didn't you listen to me when I begged you to stay in America and not come back to Germany? I looked for you everywhere. And I pray we'll be together again. Forever.
Happiness believed. Pain beloved, heaviness. You went away from me. So what do I call you? Anguish? Life? Blessedness? Myself? My heart? My past? The door was slammed, and I could hear your footsteps slowly fade away. What remains for me now? Torment? Delight? Desire? How I so rend you. I don't like that thought. I can't show that to Maria. My hopes, my dreams, desires for a new life, all of it on pieces of paper. So much of it unrealized. A year and a half in prison. But what would happen if it were to all go away? What if the Nazis declared it all wrong and took it all away from me? What would I do then? So many letters of hope. Hope.
Thought I heard the word. Hope for who, Bonhoeffer? Hope for you? For me? Hope in your imaginary world? In your imaginary friends? In your girl, Maria? Your friend Bethka? Who's really real in your world?
What do you mean? They're all real to me. They came here to see me. They wrote letters to me.
Well, Bonhoeffer, it looks like your few months of solitary here have confused you. There's been no one to your cell since you arrived except for me and Sergeant Frederick. This is Flossenburg Prison, Bonhoeffer. Maximum security.
Can't be. They're all real to me. They came here. I saw them. They were here.
Sure,
they wrote to me.
Anything you say. You know, I read your letters. We all have. Just in case you might be conspiring again. But, you know, we couldn't just let a would-be assassin like you know about that. Sure, I know about some of your friends and your fiancé from those letters. Sorry, Bonhoeffer. The letters you sent out were from, well, let's just say we humored you. We let you think they were going somewhere. You know, we even intercepted a letter that was from your fiancé. It said something stupid about living in a house with a little white picket fence. In America, no less.
Why didn't you at least give me that letter? I needed something. Something to hold on to. Just a chance. And we talked about that house.
You don't get a chance, Bonhoeffer, because you don't deserve one. You know, I think I did a pretty damn good job of finding out where your friends were hiding in this prison cell. I even pretended to hit one. Playing along with you has been fun.
I deserve to know the truth. All my life I've been preaching against liars like you.
You know, Bonhoeffer, you've got God all wrong. God is not so weak and sniveling. He is all-powerful. And Hitler advocates that as well as God's desire for a strong, superior race. Not like these rat-like Jews, retardates, and weak, effeminate queers that we have eliminated. You know, you're funny, Bonhoeffer. I would have arranged torture for you because of your impudence, but I was talked out of it by my superiors. Lucky for you, priest. But do not talk about the Fuhrer like that. He has been good for Germany and your church. I don't know why you blockheads don't see what a religious man Hitler was.
He brought the destruction to Germany and he used the church for a power grab. How can you say he's a great leader?
Because he brought back law and order and unified the people. Germany had high unemployment and he gave people jobs, damn it. He put the German people back to work.
Unified the Germans to do what? To kill, massacre, dominate. And back to work in the munitions industry. Rearming Germany for war.
Criticize all you want, Bonhoeffer, but it is you, not me, who faces the consequences of his actions. Look, Bonhoeffer, when I was 17, I joined the German army. I knew this new movement called National Socialism was what Germany needed to get her out of the high unemployment and crippling depression that she was going through. I joined, and I saw so many of my friends join because we all believed in him. When I was in my 20s, I was in the German infantry. But I was seriously wounded about. I wanted to continue my career being a soldier, but I was appointed to this prison system instead. But I don't look back. Now, this prison is a rat hole, but I am more than happy to see the people who end up here get what they deserve.
I used to feel the same way about the Lutheran Church. Then I realized that I was being led astray by those who claimed to be religious. And then when faced with the consequences, they chose to shrink into the cracks like little cockroaches.
Don't confuse me with your church, Bonhoeffer. The Fuhrer has been good to me. Do you know what I was before I joined?
No, and I don't care.
I cleaned toilets for a living. I scrubbed the floors. I was a common janitor, a nothing. People called me to clean their shit houses, and that's what I did.
At least you were an honest man then.
An honest man? By whose estimates, Bonhoeffer? I was a nobody. Always jumping to someone's beck and call. People, they treat you like garbage.
You weren't a nobody. You were making a living, and that's a somebody.
No, I wasn't, Bonhoeffer. I was a grain of dust to be swept under somebody's boot. You know, I'd watch other high-ranking officers like Joseph Goebbels go from nothing to something. Now, do you know what he was before he joined? A bank clerk. A nothing. Scarcely on a higher plane than me. A club-footed, scrawny little weakling of a man. I'd watched how quickly he rose through the ranks, and I just wanted to be like him.
What about yourself? What about your freedom? What about your humanity? Goebbels. And now he captivates the German people with his propaganda and his lies.
Well, maybe I didn't care for him personally, but his speeches were almost as good as the Fuhrer's. He keeps the German people excited about a 1,000-year Reich.
Major, no government's gonna last 1,000 years.
But it has changed the world, Bonhoeffer. It will make people sit up and say that we have made a lasting legacy. Look what the Fuhrer did for Germany. We were a great nation again, and when we return, we will be admired by the world.
Legacy? Legacy of hate. And you know, Major, in the end, it's all gonna turn to dust. The only eternal reality is God's love.
Those goddamn rich people I served for so many years, cleaning their floors and unstopping their toilets. They would curse and swear at me to get the job done, and I would just meekly say, "Yes, sir," or "Yes, ma'am."
You don't understand.
Now they're all gone. Bunch of rich Jews, kikes, and I cheered when they were all rounded up and taken away. And now they're all dust. And who had the last laugh? Have a nice night, Bonhoeffer.
Sometimes, late at night, I hear the guards laughing, and I wonder, when their shifts are done and they go home to their families, do they play with their children and they kiss their wives? Surely they have human feelings and they take time out to enjoy the holidays. Now I realize that Jesus and God are not a part of this church. They're alive and well beyond the mainstream power hierarchy and hypocrisy, and to hell with the Lutheran Church and all those ministers who cower in fear and let monsters loose to do whatever they want. my faith rests in eternal of God's love and forgiveness.
Waiting for the Führer's final speech, and the high spot comes when, after a detailed review of Nazi achievements, Hitler cries, "My life's fight has not been in vain."
Indem ich euch ihre Blicke weise ich, mein Lebenskampf ist nicht umsonst gekämpft. Sein Sowjetzeichen soll er vor sich hertragen und wir werden in unserem Zeichen wieder siegen.
Bring the prisoner forth.
Well, Bonhoeffer, I guess it's time to meet your God. Does that make you tremble in fear?
No, Major. I'm ready.
You are a traitor, and I would have liked to have hung you with piano wire dangling from a meat hook. Too bad it has to end like this.
It's not the end. It's the beginning.
Prisoner, you will walk forward to the white post and stop. Close off.
I have to stop for an instant.
Why? Why are you shivering?
I'm cold. Almighty God. Almighty God. Please love and protect those that are dear to me. I love them so much. Please look after them. Please.
Dietrich Bonhoeffer was executed in Flossenburg Prison, April 9th, 1945, exactly 30 days before the prison was liberated. He is widely read and is considered one of the greatest theologians of the 20th century. After learning of Bonhoeffer's execution, Maria Wettermeier moved permanently to the United States. In 1967, in Bonhoeffer's memory, she donated some of his letters to the Harvard University Library. She was 53 years old when she died in 1977. Bonhoeffer, however, bequeathed most all of his property to Eberhard Bethge, except for a memento that Maria could choose from Bonhoeffer's estate. Moreover, Bethge, while Bonhoeffer was in prison, married his niece, Renee Schleicher. Finally, the following are the words of Bonhoeffer, who lived and died believing, "Silence in the face of evil is itself evil. God will not hold us guiltless. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act.
Thank you.